have God-oriented household life. Even that thought, even that conception also people are unable to follow. Because they have become weak. They can't do anything. That's the state. So, what can be done? Unless you practice, you will not get anything. Unless you go to a job, you won't get money. Is it not? You have to earn. You have to have some kind of job and you must earn money. In the same way, you have to engage in some practice and get some spiritual merit. Without spiritual merit, how can you evolve? And everyone is independent, literally. The fact, you happen to be his daughter. She happens to be your mother. It's all superficial. Even though you are daughter, even though she is mother, she is independent, you are independent. The journey is independent journey only. At the point of death, mother will not come to you. You can't go to the mother at the time of the death. She has to go in her own way, you have to go in your own way. This is solid truth. So if you, how to understand it more seriously, you watch the animals. Each one is independent. Squirrel, for example, every day I go lakeshore walking. When I go and watch them, each squirrel is struggling. It has to go in search of its own food. It has to find out its own food and is always under constant fear. Some people may catch and cut off his tail. Here, it's horrible. I couldn't believe it. And people tell they hunt the squirrels and cut the tails. What a tragedy. They think they can go, whatever they can do. No. They have to reap whatever they do. They can't escape the law. Be very careful about that. So, I was watching that. Every animal has to go independently in its own way. It has to search its own food. It has to suffer or enjoy himself. There is no way. Same way, all the souls, they have to go independently. Independence is our true nature, really. But because we are encased in the body, we are in constant trouble. Some disturbance will be there, something will be there. We have to explain things and we have to. It's not easy. At the same time, it's not difficult. So, what is needed is you have to put your heart and soul wholeheartedly, you have to apply yourself. Knowing the reality, theoretically, first step, then application. So theory and practice must go together. So practice becomes study only through steady conviction. Very firm conviction you must have. Then you can really proceed onwards in your spiritual practices. So, reality of God is like that. So don't have any doubts hereafter from this moment onwards, whether God exists or not. So after this retreat, we must all go back with the firm conviction that God exists. And as I said in the course of my talk, He is supervising, He is witnessing all our actions. Because He is staying in our own heart, As the indweller of our heart, He is witnessing all our actions. In whatever way it comes in our mind. And so, we should surrender to Him. That's the only way. There is no other way. Our spiritual practices are not strong enough to take us to the abode of truth. We are so weak. in every respect, physically, mentally, intellectually, in every respect we are weak. Every stage, every level, we are more and more weak. So, with that lot of weakness, what is the way? Only way is to surrender. How to surrender to God? That topic will take tomorrow. We'll try to inspire you in that line. Thank you very much. I am also surrendering myself. Surrendering is really easy path. As Sri Ramakrishna says, you can't do anything. I will give you power baton. And Girish Chandra goes, had I known that Sri Ramakrishna would take all the responsibility, I would have committed more blunders. Now it's your session. You can ask any questions, any leftovers.
I think you are making this morning that God is in everybody, but not everybody is in God. Can you please elaborate a little bit more on that?
Everybody is in God means everybody's mind is not in God. So mind is everything, There is no application of the mind. And the mind is connected, then only the label connection is perfect, then only the current passes through. And when the plug is not put in, the computer shows the zinc wire is unplugged. So we have to restart it. That's the way. The whole thing is in the mind. We have to connect the mind. Connection also is done properly. You think you have connected, but properly it is not connected. That's why the energy is not flowing through. So that's the meaning of saying, though God is present, though electricity is there, we are not able to have the power of electricity because the connection is not there. In the same way, though God is there in our own heart, we are not connecting Him. The mind is like a connecting label, connecting cable. The cable, we are not able to connect properly. We don't know. We are not trained to connect it. Everything needs training. Cable connection is also not easy, not like simply connecting the hardware wires. It's very complicated. You can see, I have seen many times people sitting, 2-3 people sitting and struggling to connect the cable. Lots of wires will be there and so minutely, so concentratedly they will go on doing for half an hour, 1 hour they keep on connecting. It is like that. So mind is to be connected. When the mind is connected, you have done your best. Then the rest will follow by itself. The channel is made clear. The channel is made clear when the impurities of mind are removed. The impurities of mind are removed by doing constant spiritual sadhana. Whatever yoga you practice, do it wholeheartedly and doubting no more. No more doubts. Samsaya atma vinashyati. See, doubts will not give you peace of mind. Doubts to a certain extent is all right. Keep on doubting anything, everything. It leads you nowhere. You have to put a stop at a one level. No more doubts. You must be disgusted with the doubt. You must reach that point. Then you will be free from doubts. Yes. Yes.
The God is again there everywhere, but manifestation is different in different beings. Is that the fault of the perceiver that he cannot perceive this manifestation equally, or is it the fault of whose fault?
God.
The fault of the embodied being. See, why the manifestation is not possible? Because the container
This receptor is small.
So the jiva, the embodied being, that is the soul, it is limiting itself. It's not opening up properly. And instead of opening up properly, it is closing up. So opening up comes only through spirituality. The more and more you are open to spirituality, more and more mind becomes clear. And so that is the struggle. That's the struggle. Even struggling also, how many lives you have to struggle? Because it's not so easy to get rid of all the blemishes of the mind. So many things are there, at one shot it cannot go. So even life of spiritual life, one has to pass through before a time. In fact, Brahmanji, referring to Brahmanji, they said he was born as one of the Gopas in Krishna's incarnation. And she after incarnation he got the kind of liberation. So like that. Anyway, that's the way it is. We try to open up and again we close up. We are born as human beings, again we become selfish, become arrogant and self-centered, and again born as an animal. Again become human, again born, again. Back and forth. You will be terribly at loss. So then you pray for somebody's help. Help will come. Whatever practice you have done, it is not lost. That assurance, that's a great assurance. Even little bit you have done, that merit you have done. Even little bit. In fact, it is said that Draupadi, when she was praying for Krishna to protect her modesty, and Dushasana was praying to draw her sari, and it was said that did she do any karma in previous life? She had donated some clothes to somebody. So that was enough to show Krishna grace. So because you have done that merit, you have got that merit. So you made Akshaya. So you saved his modesty. So like that.
So Maharaj, so in our our activities, how much is free will and how much is, as it goes in the song, in the famous song, the Shakoli Tomari Ichha, Ami Jantra Tumi Jantri. You understand my question?
Oh yes.
It's one of the oldest questions.
Yeah, maybe this has been asked many times.
No, the point is, the talk of free will, etc. is all limited. Your will is nothing. You simply talk about free will. What kind of free will you have in this small body? It is limited will. It is limited free will. Just like they give the example of an animal tied with a rope. Cow tied with a rope. Suppose the rope is 2 meters long. The cow has got the freedom to move about in that 2 meters diameter. It can't go beyond that. Same way we are all. Limited freedom you have got. Limitless freedom you will get only by realization of the truth. Unless you realize God, you won't have a full free will.
Read the chapter of freedom.
So, free will is not possible unless you get yourself free from the action and reaction of the karma. You get out of the wheel of karma, then you will be free from the wheel. And then you will have free will. So, the play of free will is possible only to men of realization. Even they also, they don't exercise that free will indiscriminately. Even this little will, how people behave, very havoc. With little free will, they are doing all mischief and everything. So if you have got more free will, you will do more mischief.